Happy Monday, everyone. This is Martha with Nature Niche. I want to wish you a happy Earth Day, and for Earth Week, I thought we'd talk about recycling. So I'm out here at Midland Recyclers with Cyndie Roberts. She's the Education and Marketing Coordinator, and she's going to talk to us about how to be better recyclers.
Thanks, Martha. Let's go inside. Welcome to Midland Recyclers. I wanted to let you know we are a nonprofit facility located in front of the county landfill, but we are not associated with the city or the county. We are open to anyone, so you don't have to show proof of residence to come here. We're a do-it-yourself facility, so you come and sort your own recycling. And recycling is a vital part of the circular economy. And what we really need to do in the U.S. and actually in the world is adopt policies that will mandate the reduction of single-use plastic and other packaging materials, and also shift the fiscal responsibility for taking care of recycling and waste disposal to the manufacturers instead of being a responsibility of the local government. So that would be our ultimate goal in the recycling world, but recycling is a vital part right now of the circular economy, and I just wanted to show you around the facility.
Go ahead.
So recycling is only effective if the materials can be sold for profit. And our bale prices depend, of course, on current market values, but they also depend on the level of contamination. And by contaminated, I mean what's dirty, what's clean, if things are in the right place or not. So we're going to walk around the facility, and I'm going to show you what should be where and what shouldn't be where. So, wishcycling is kind of a concept where people wish something was recyclable, but it may or may not be depending on where you live. So we'll talk about that a little bit more. But so this is the area where all of our paper is. Right here, the sign says glossy catalogs and magazines, so that's exactly what goes there. It has to be shiny and glossy in order to be put in here. And the paper has to be sorted according to the quality of paper, and that's why it's important to sort it properly. So this says junk mail and office paper, and the problem with that category is that there's a lot of things that we're getting in the mail now that are shiny and glossy, like this. So if this is shiny and glossy, it should actually be in with the shiny and glossy. The other thing is this kind of paper here that feels more like newsprint should actually be in with the newsprint. We also are getting a lot of things in the mail that are more cardboardy, and so this really needs to be in with the cereal board. Now, it doesn't have to be 100% perfect, but the better that we can sort things, again, the better for it'll be a lower contamination level. Okay, so when you bring your office paper in, please use one of our bins, and don't leave it in a bag like this, because this is a different type of paper and it actually goes in with the cereal board that I will show you a little bit later. Also, paper napkins and paper towels, even though they're paper, they're bad. They're not recyclable. It's not a quality of paper that we can put in with any of it, and so unfortunately it's trash. So the moral to that is use fabric napkins. Okay, so moving this way, we have egg cartons. A lot of people that raise chickens come in, and actually we resell these egg cartons. These should be sorted according to the size and the material that they're made out of, so please keep the cardboard separated from the styrofoam. And we only take egg cartons that close, so I know they have egg cartons that just have those little flaps on the side, but we don't want those. We want the ones that close. So if you have the ones with the little flaps, they would go in here with the styrofoam. Okay, so moving over to our styrofoam area. So there's multiple different kinds of styrofoam. We take this hard kind, and we appreciate it when the pieces are not this big, when they are broken up a little bit. So the easy way to do that is just break that on the edge of the box there, and we're good to go. We do not take squishy styrofoam. So if you can squish it like this, That is a no-no. Unfortunately, that is one of those materials that are not recyclable. That is trash. We do take things like this. This is called a foam sheet, although it doesn't go in here. I'll show you where it goes a little bit later. And there are other kinds. So this would not be acceptable because of all the black kind of tar stuff on the back of it. So that would unfortunately be trash as well. And then we really appreciate it if plastic bags should not be put in with the styrofoam. If you have all your styrofoam in a plastic bag, if you could dump the styrofoam out in the box and put the plastic bags where the plastic bags go, that would be greatly appreciated. Next we have our plastic bag area. There is a large bag here where you can put your single bags, or if you already have them in a bag, you can just put the whole bag of bags in there. Some bags have the triangular symbols on the bottom with a number. It really doesn't matter what number they are. We will take those. We will take shrink wrap. If the bag is more rigid and crinkly, that's not necessarily what we are looking for. But again, if the percentage of those bags is small, then that's okay. One of the questions that we get a lot are about the bubble wrap bags. If it's plastic on the outside and plastic on the inside, it goes right in with the plastic bags. However, if it's paper on the outside and plastic on the inside, unfortunately, that is a problem, and it's not recyclable because it has too many materials. Right, so one thing that we get a lot of questions about is laser printer cartridges and ink cartridges and electronics. We do take those, however, we only take certain ones. We deal with Cartridge World, which is really great, and but we can only take HP, Canon, and Cartridge World laser printer cartridges. If you put them in the box, that's great because then the cartridge doesn't get damaged. Unfortunately, we cannot take Xerox products, so this would not be recyclable for us. This is also our returnable can and bottle area. The glass bottles go on the table in a box, and the plastic bottles and cans go in this bag. Electronics are over here. We take all different kinds of electronics in small appliances, vacuum cleaners, microwave ovens. We don't take anything that has Freon, however. This is one of the only things that we have to charge for because we deal with an organization that has to take all the components out of it and do the right thing with it, and so they charge us. So we charge for monitors, and flat screen TVs are $10, and the big old tube CRT TVs are $20, but that's the only thing that we charge for. But we do take electronics, Christmas lights, all that stuff. So over here we have aluminum and tin, and we have a very high-tech way of telling the difference. It's called a magnet. The can sticks to the magnet, it goes right here. If the can doesn't stick to the magnet, then it goes in with the aluminum, and that's how you tell the difference. We also take all different other kinds of metal, so again, you can just put it in with the container that says tin cans. We also take glass, and we have just started taking colored glass again. So glass goes here, the clear glass goes here, and the colored glass goes down here. Here we are over by the cereal board, and cereal board is kind of a broad definition because cereal board also includes things like brown paper bags and file folders. Anything that's not corrugated cardboard actually goes in cereal board. Then we have our book area, and you can see right now we have a mountain of books. We do take hardcovers and softcover books, but the problem with books is that the binding with all the glue cannot be recycled. So what we have to do if we can't sell them, or give them to a bookseller, we have to tear all the pages out of them, and then the book, the binding itself, has to be thrown in the trash, unfortunately. So, best case scenario, trade books with your friends, take them to a used bookstore. There's one in Colin. The name of it is Buy the Book, B-U-Y, Buy the Book. She will trade for your old books and give you credit for new books, so that's one option. Take them to Goodwill, give them to an art teacher, maybe they can use them for an art project. There's all different kinds of creative uses for books. So bringing them here would probably be one of the last resorts. And but we do take them and we do sell them. So we have a lot of great books here if you want to come look through them. So onto plastics, which is probably a very confusing area for a lot of people, so I will do my best to explain. The Plastics Industry Association back in the 80s came up with this resin identification codes with the chasing triangular arrows and the numbers inside, and most people think that that automatically means that that item is recyclable, but that's not the case. What it does, it just identifies the different resins that the plastics are made out of, but they have different melting points, they use colorants, they use stabilizers, and so that makes some plastics more recyclable than others. And so the numbers don't necessarily mean it's recyclable, but we take all plastics that are numbers 1 through 7. So these are the number ones, and mostly clear, all clear, sorry, drinking bottles mostly, and some other ones. But again, they really need to be clean, and also if they could be crushed, then the cap can go back on. Please don't leave the cap on if you're not going to crush them, because when we put them in the balers, the air inside of them will cause them to pop, and the caps will come off and go outside the baler. So these are number ones. Number twos look like this. They're milk carton-y looking things, but other things are also number twos, but they all look like this. If they don't have the cap on, that's fine. If they do have the cap on, they need to be crushed, please, and they go right in here. Just because it's a milk carton doesn't mean it goes in here. This is actually a number 2, but it is a color, which is the next bin over here. So these are colored number 2s, and again, look for the number 2 on the bottom of the container. All right, so colored number 2s. The biggest thing that we see are these very large laundry detergent bottles, which this is, I guess, one of my pet peeves. There is a wonderful store on South Saginaw Road called Phil. It is a refillery store. Phil sells all kinds of cleaning products for laundry and for your house that are all natural, and they're concentrated, so you only use a tablespoon and you fill the rest with water from your house rather than a big jug that's all, basically you're buying a little bit of product and a lot of water. So do yourself a favor, get a glass jar and go to Phil and buy your laundry detergent there instead of in these big jugs that take up a lot of room. The next bin here is all the other plastics. So anything that doesn't fit in these categories goes in here. So that includes these clamshells, it includes all different kinds of rigid plastic. What it doesn't include, however, is things like this. Unfortunately, this is one of those products where it's mostly cardboard, but it is wax covered on the outside and on the inside, and so there's too many materials in here, which makes it, unfortunately, not recyclable. Now, you might say, well, it says it's recyclable, but if the infrastructure is not there where you live, then unfortunately it's not recyclable. Okay, so here is our battery sorting area, and we do take batteries. You cannot put batteries in curbside, but you can bring them here. But they need to be sorted according to the type of battery, not the size, but the type. So alkaline batteries are probably the easiest. These are, your copper top batteries that most people associate with batteries. However, they have to have the word alkaline on them in order to be put in this bin. And please take them out of the bags or whatever you're bringing them in and just put the batteries in here. So if they do not have the word alkaline on them, then you need to look for other words, such as rechargeable, heavy duty, super heavy duty, lithium batteries, and other things that are on this picture. All of those batteries, every single battery needs to be put in its own bag. And we have the bags here. Not a whole bag of batteries, but individual batteries in individual bags. And those get shipped off to a different place to be recycled, but they have to be transported that way. The other type of batteries that you might have are the batteries for maybe your garage door opener or hearing aid batteries or things like that. So those batteries need to be taped on both sides like this, and we also have the tape here to do that, and then you can put them right in here. Or you can leave them in their original container, and that is okay too. Okay, here is our area for packing materials. We do accept packing peanuts, and we also sell packing materials in boxes. I'll show you that in a minute. So if you have packing peanuts, if you would just dump them in here, take them out of the plastic bag and put the plastic bag over in the plastic bag area, we would appreciate that. We have bubble wrap, and again, these bags, I talked about them when we were over by the plastic bags. These do not go in with the bubble wrap, they go in with the plastic bags as long as they're plastic on the inside and plastic on the outside. We have packing paper, and again, this is not tissue paper like you have when you wrap a gift. It is actual packing paper. Tissue paper, unfortunately, is not recyclable because of the low quality of paper it is. And with that thought in mind, wrapping paper is not recyclable either. So it's reusable. I encourage you to reuse it, but I also encourage you to use other things in wrapping paper. Take a newspaper and wrap your gifts in it. Take a reusable bag, a fabric bag, get creative. You don't have to use wrapping paper because it's not recyclable. Foam sheets go here, and air pillows go here. And again, we have all these packing materials for sale if you should need them. So we also have a fairly large reuse area here at the Recycle Center. So there are all different kinds of things for crafts, for do-it-yourselfers. We have, gift bags and all different kinds of creative things to use and reuse. Please, we ask that you don't put things where they don't belong. So we used to keep the prescription bottles here, but we don't anymore. These actually go with the all other plastics. Over here we have a lot more other things. We are also collecting gently used adult-sized t-shirts for the Dow High Go Green Club. It's a sustainability club that takes the t-shirts and makes them into reusable bags. And they gave away over 1,600 of those bags at the farmers market last year. So it's a great way to reduce single-use plastic and textile waste at the same time. So lots of good things here. It's always changing. You need to come in and look around and see what we have. We never know what we're going to get. We have all kinds of building materials and wine bottles and you name it, we get it. Right next to our reuse area, this is our moving box area. So we also sell moving boxes and packing supplies. So if you ever need any boxes, come and see us. So this back area here is our holding area, if you will. So after all the cardboard gets baled and the shredded paper, and we have all different kinds of plastics, all the plastic bags. You can see that they get put into these great big bales, and then they get sold and shipped off to various places who actually process the materials and recycle them. So you can see the massive amount of recycling that goes on here. And again, we are just a very small facility, in one little area. And so the bottom line is reduce, reduce, reduce.
Thank you, Cyndie, for all of that wonderful information. I learned a lot. I see some practices we can change too.
Well, it was my pleasure. I appreciate it. And I just want to remind everybody that we love our volunteers here at Midland Recyclers. About 70% of our workforce is volunteers. So if you ever have some free time, we would love to have you come out and volunteer. We have students here, adults, something for just about any age group or any ability, and we really, really greatly appreciate our volunteers. The other thing is that I'm really excited and looking forward to being with you at the Earth Expo coming up on April 24th at Dow High from noon to 4. There's going to be a lot of great organizations there. Bay Sail, Chippewa Nature Center, Nature Niche, Phil will be there. Tesla is coming, Autobahn Society, all different kinds of STEM and STEAM activities for students of all ages and adults. So we hope you will join us at the Earth Expo at Dow High on April 24th. Thanks a lot.
Happy Earth Day.
Happy Earth Day.